Hi everyone. Hi. Let's see if this is working. Fingers crossed. Bear with me. Yes, I can see myself. Hi. So I'm a little bit conscious at the minute, self-conscious because I'm right at the front of the house and then there's people stood out there thinking I'm talking to myself. Hi Lynn. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining. Let's see who we've got. I can't see who we've got. Hi. Okay, so hi Jill. Hi Maria. Oh, thank you for joining me. Okay, I think, well, everything's working. Let's just share. Can't do two things at the same time. Okay. Hi. So I finally feel like I'm getting my bum in gear to do with Facebook Lives. Hi Kay. Because I used to do them a couple of years ago, and right then it was the very early stages of Facebook Live, and it was a little bit yeah, I know, they've gone. They've gone. um yeah, the Facebook was a little bit clunky back then, and for one thing and the other, I just stopped doing Facebook Lives, and I wish I hadn't, because they were great. And I finally here to do a Facebook Live for an hour. I'm setting myself a time. I'm here for 1 hour, otherwise I'll be late to pick the boys up. And yeah, I thought an afternoon might be good for people. Certainly good for me. I know that in the morning I like to get all my work done, housework as well, not just Stampin' Up work. So, and then I've had lunch. Hi Jill. And then hi Jenny. And yeah, so I know this time of day you know, you're either hanging around waiting for kids to come out of school, or you just, you know, just enjoy the afternoon. So, and there's not really a lot on telly, so why not come and see me? Whether you'll be back next week is another story, but let's get on with it. So I've had a really crazy week. We're trying to do a bit of decorating, well, wallpaper stripping in this house, because we've only been here since May, and we're trying to get about 6 layers of wallpaper off of the hall and the stairs and the landing. So it's slow, but we've finally got one of these steam things, and that's so much better. Who knew? I've never done anything like this before. So at the moment, half of the walls and the stairs are like bare plaster, so which is good. We're going back to the original wall, but it's taking time, and there's bits of paper up the stairs because I clean it up, and then I've got little boys that like to help me. There's a massive lorry just reversing out here. Sorry, I don't know why there's a lorry down here. It's probably why it's turning around. So yeah, I have 2 little boys who are just peeling and helping me, thinking they're helping me pick all this paper off the wall. So I'm finding all this random stuff going up the stairs. So that's what we've been doing. I've had a little bit of work done in this office, just finishing off a couple of cupboards and my post area over there. I don't know if I can really show you. Let's see. Ooh. Which way are we going? Yeah, so we've had this section put in that was just like bare wall. Hi Leah. So We had a lovely man in last week, Ian, to pop that in, and then a couple more on the wall. So finally, I think there's no more wall space, there's no more floor space. There's nothing else I can fix anything else to in this room. So finally, I think I've done enough. Um, I think I have. And as my husband Tom says, everything's screwed down, so I can't move it, because I used to have a habit of moving my room around. But now it's all fixed and screwed onto the wall, so I can't move it. So that's what we've been up to. Hang stuff from the ceiling. That's a good idea. We did replace the light actually, so we've done that. We've done literally everything apart from the floor. The floor was lovely. Don't sound too sure. I will try and find something, Jenny, but give me a little while to save up. It's not cheap. So the other thing that's been going on is, hi Joanne, hi. The other thing, on Thursday, you may have seen Stampin' Up gave announced their top performers for last year on Thursday, and normally we get to go to on stage, which is like a convention, and we see it live there on the screens, and everybody goes woo like that. But this year, because we're all split up, we're going off to a lot of us are going off to Orlando. I'm not. I'm staying in Birmingham. I'm not from Birmingham. I'm in Morecambe, but I'm going to the Birmingham event, and they've just announced it on Thursday. So because I've got I've got a brain like a sieve, I've had to write it down. So I came. I don't like to really cheer for myself, but I thought, do you know what? No, I'm going to tell you all. So I came third in recruiting. Thank you. I came fourth in sales. So if you don't buy anything from this video, I'm doing something wrong. And then I came ninth in leadership for my lovely team. And overall that gave me number 11 of the UK. And then globally, out of about 50 to 60,000, I came 75th. Last year I was number 71, so I was quite pleased with that. Yeah, so that's what I've been up to. We've had 2 new members join our team this month already. There's Tracy and Catherine. I'm yet to meet them. I've never met them. They're both waiting for their starter kits, and they're very, very excited. It's lovely to get somebody new, because you remember what you were like when you first joined, and I'm still excited every time I get a delivery, which is every week. Thank you, Kim. So yes, as I said, I'm off to Birmingham on Friday with my lovely Lynn. I'm going to see my team. There's going to be about 15 of us. Hopefully we can get 2 tables, maybe 3 tables near each other. We'll see. I'll do a bit of elbowing. And we're going to see the new catalogue and the celebration offering for 2019. So I'm really excited. I can't wait. We'll be all sort of some of the first demonstrators to see some of the new products. So I'll be coming home with new things, lots of new things, hopefully, and the new catalogue. So you can be sure to see some of that on my Facebook page and my website over the next few weeks. Not too much, because we are trying to get into the swing of Christmas, aren't we? I've said it. I won't say that word again. Okay, so I have a couple of things to show you very quickly. I just wanted to show you some of the cards I've made for my coffee and card session that I have every other Wednesday, and we had that last week. I've just realised I've pinched a bow off of this card, so it's not quite finished. So the bow, it's not that exciting. The bow should be there. Imagine the gorgeous bow. Let me see. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So imagine this bow on here. I pulled it off. We made this card, and the idea is that they're really quick and simple. Take you no more than 20 minutes per card. And we do 2 different ones based on the one stamp set. And that was this one. I think I'm backwards. Let's see. Hang on. Hey. Okay. So yeah, we did the bouquet one with Mango Melody, and this is the lovely bow that's just hand cut. So we did those 2, and then the couple of weeks before that we made these. I really threw a lot of products onto these ones, a lot of different, I don't know where to look, a lot of different bundles. We have the gingerbread man, that's fun, that's got the punch, and we've mixed it with the nothing sweeter, I think, stamp set with little cookie shapes, and this one here, a couple of punches, a couple of words, and then yet another stamp from another bundle. So I really did throw everything onto this, but who cares? So those are what we made, really quick. Thank you. So what I've got today to show you very quickly is a couple of giveaways. So I'm asking you, please share my video if you like it, if it's any good. I don't want to be sharing rubbish, do we? I've got some prizes. These will be drawn next week, next Monday, and so you'll have to come back and see if your name's there. I won't be contacting you, unfortunately, because I want you to come back. I want you to come back and watch me, and I'll be doing the draw for the foil snowflakes and also the softly falling embossing folder. So I'm going to put these to one side, make sure I don't sell them. I'll give them away so that they're ready for us for next week. So today I'm not going to show you the cards just yet. I've got 3 different cards, and we'll be making it with the falling 4 leaves stamp set and the thin lit dies that go with it. Are you ready? I think I've waffled on enough. Bear with me. Let's see if I can do this without being too loud. I don't think I can mute this, so just stop listening for a second. Okay, tighten it up. No, hang on. I think I need to flip the camera back round. I want to see up there. There we go, that's better. I knew I shouldn't have touched this, everyone. Oops. Okay. Something's not right. Okay. It's important that we get it level. Right. Okay, I'm happy now. Thank you. So I'm very organised, and I've got everything we need in a tub. Okay, let's begin. Are you ready? Let's see if I can remember what I do for this card. Okay, so I've got the card base, which is just a C6, but I've done it like a tent card, like a tent fold, and that's garden green. And then you have 2 pieces of Whisper White, which just leave a nice border around the edge. One for the front and one for the inside, like that. Very simple. Then a piece of scrap, and that's going to have a circle cut out of it. And this is the largest circle that we do, which is the 2 1/4 inch circle. Bye Lynn, good to see ya. Now the stamp set has this lovely greeting, thinking of you with a grateful heart, but I didn't really want that second half of it with a grateful heart, so this might make you scream, but I chopped it in half. So I'm really naughty, but I've just gone along, and it doesn't look very neat, but I've carefully gone in and cut off the bottom half of this. And if I want to put it back together, I can do. Obviously not permanently, but if I want to stamp it together, it just sits back in there like a jigsaw, and I can use the whole sentiment. But I was playing about with masking it off with washi tape, foam, post-it notes and things, and I just couldn't be bothered, so I've just taken my scissors and cut into it. I'm just going to raise my table up a little bit because I'm hurting my back. Oh, that's so much better. You probably saw nothing happen, but I got these funky tables from IKEA, which have a handle on the side, and you can raise them up and down. And I always forget that I've got them. I prefer to stand when I'm stamping and crafting. So, are you going up? So, yes, right. So that's the first thing, is the sentiment, which I've chopped in half, and I'm using the black ink, the Memento, and just stamping it in the middle of this circle. Like that. And then I've taken one of our sponges, and it's just a quarter of a sponge with a little bulldog binder clip on, and with the Sahara Sand ink, just wipe a little bit off, and then just giving it a bit of ink on the sides. You try and get even all the way around, and then you go in a little bit too far on one bit, and then you end up having to go around again to try and get it all even. And then that's it. I think I've done it. So there we go. A bit of ink on the edge of the circle. Oh, I need this. Pop this to one side. So for our card front, I'm just going to be stamping down the left edge. And the stamps I'm using are this one. This is the outline. And that will go down here. And maybe one in the middle. Twisting it around slightly so they're not all the same. And then the next one is this one. which I've done in a like Merry Merlot. So sorry, I forgot to keep talking. So I've done it in a Merry Merlot before, so my stamp is all stained. Hi Samantha, thank you. Thank you ladies for sharing. Thanks for telling me. Facebook will tell me that you've shared the video, so I will get a list, but it's not always reliable. So if you can tell me that you've shared the video, I would be most grateful, and then I can add you into the draw for the prizes next week. So these little stamps are all three on one thing. They're kind of like connected, and that just stamps in the center of the leaves to give it some veins. And then I'm going to add in a colour, which is garden green, which matches the cardstock, the card base, sorry. And this time there's this long bit, I don't know what to call it, like a branch with tiny little berries on. I'm just doing them all green, stamping it in the full strength ink. It doesn't really matter where you stamp these, it's just a little bit of detail down the edge. I will just go back in and add a couple more just to fill that white space. Oops, I've gone green, that's okay. Might as well carry on. Okay. So I mentioned that the stamps have some framelits that coordinate with it. There are some that will cut out the big stamps, so one like that. And these, by the way, the pictures on the front of the stamp set are actually smaller than what you get. So if you can see that, I don't know if you can see that, but the pictures on the case are smaller, so this would cut the leaf out perfectly. It wouldn't give you such a big border. There's a lovely detailed one in here with an edge like that, and then a couple that just work on, sorry, three that just work on their own. This one, and this one. Where's the other one? It's in one of my boxes somewhere. And then these two actually coordinate with these stamps, which is this one here that we've used, and this one. Again, there's another stamp that fills in this white space for the veins on the leaf. So for this card, I've used this beautiful die and the other one that I said, but is in a box on the end of the table there. So I've cut out ahead of time. Let's get rid of these inks. Yes, please, Maria, please. So I've cut out two of these, one in pumpkin pie and one in Sahara sand. And then this is the other one, which is in my box down there. But it cuts out all these beautiful lines and dots and sort of like a little shape in the middle there. It's really lovely. To get all these bits out, I recommend that you use one of our foam mats with the roller, but like a funny hairbrush, but it's got metal bristles, which sometimes they do fall out. That's normal. Some of the really small dots sometimes don't pop out, but you can be quite rough with this. And then when you've done, you just tip your sponge up and hide it. I think that's all of them. Oh, a couple here. Another one. There. Love this. Right, so there's that one. And then the other ones I've kind of left in on my sample card, and if they fall out, they fall out, to be honest. But I quite liked that they were still in there, to be honest. And if you don't force them, they're not going to fall out in a hurry. Just quickly get these out. There we go. No pressure doing it on the camera. Things always take twice as long when you're on the video than they do when you're just sat on your own. There we go. Okay, so our circle that we did earlier needs to go on some foam pads. But before I do that, I'm going to place my leaves. I've forgotten. Place my leaves down on here. So these are going to end up being underneath this circle. So we have one roughly about there. Another one, say there. Just using my block to push the die cut down because I don't want to get sticky. And then these I'm going to break off and use them individually. And they can go under there, one like that, one like that, perhaps one up here. Hi Stacey. Okay, and then that sits on top. There is a lot of glue under there, but it will dry. And I like using the Tombow, so if I wanted to wiggle these, I can move them. So that's basically the card there. It is worth doing all of those die cuts and getting all those bits out because they really do make the card. I love this one. So I always use the Tombow or the multi-purpose adhesive glue, just so I've got a bit of time to get it nice and straight. And then the insert, I always have a piece of card and I stamp the insert. And I think I would just use this one. Just a couple of times here. Like that. And there you go, that's the first card. I really want to do this in different colours, so maybe yellows and oranges and Merry Merlot and brown for some really different striking leaves for autumn. So that's the first one. I hope you like that one. I'll just pop some of these bits away. I'd love for you to tell me where you're all from. I do like to be a little bit nosy. Okay, so that's the first card. We're going to move on to the second card. Thanks, Karen. And this is my original, so I didn't do too bad. I've got twins. Hi, Helen. Hi. There we go. Okay, so we'll go on to the second card. Whoops, still using the same stamp set and the die cuts, but this time actually I'm not using die cuts. I'm using a little bit of watercolor paper. I've found out some watercolor paper. That's for the front, and this time it's 5mm in all the way around, and then the inside here. So we'll do the watercolor piece first. Now for this, I'm using a spray, like a spritzer, which isn't in my box. I may have to just go and get one in a second. Yeah, hang on a sec, I've not got my spritzing thingy. Here you go. So just one of these. I think you buy these in packs of 2 for about £2.50 to £3, something like that. Probably £2.75. There's not a great deal of water in here, but I might just manage to do it. Fingers crossed. So you want a tray, just to catch. Mine's plastic because I find obviously cardboard box, everything gets wet. I like to just use a tray that I've got loads of these. This is just a fridge tray that they're just from Home Bargains, that you can just, you know, put your cold meats and things inside your fridge in a tray like this. So I like this, it's big enough. I'll just show you an example. That's how big that is, and there's lots of different size trays, but anyway, I'm a sucker for plastic, Tupperware, anything, tins, you name it, I've got it. So we're using this big flower. Now let's probably should check it's clean, and to do that I'm just going to use my chamois. Yeah, it is clean. I thought it was clean. So we're going to add different colours of ink to this. This is what's it called? Pumpkin pie. One nice layer of ink on there, and then we've got Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to add some of that colour directly on top of the pumpkin pie with one of these sponge daubers, just in that middle section. Don't want to go too far out, but you'll find that the colours will merge a little bit. And then lastly, I'll do the same again with the Merry Merlot. But this time dab around the outside of this stamp. Doesn't look like a lot's happening, but it is. Promise. And now this is one of these cards and techniques that looks different every time you do it. So I'm stood here, fingers crossed, praying that this will work. And it has. But because I'm live, it might not. So you just want to spritz generously. I did 5 spritzes, but because this is pretty much empty, I've done a few more. So that's all lovely and juicy and wet on there. This might make some of you a little bit cringy. I find you either like doing this kind of thing or you don't like doing this, and this is as messy as I get for my cards. So flip your block over and then just hold it for a bit, because I find that the watercolor paper just needs a little bit of time to absorb the water. and it still will be wet. You can see that it is wet and juicy. So I would just quickly wipe this clean. If you don't have one of these chamois, you need a chamois in your life. I have 4 in my life. I don't know how I've crafted without them. Now, because that's still wet, I'm going to blow on it. Now, this is just what we all used to do when we were at school with straws, but I don't have a straw, so I'm just going to blow on it. And I like that this is very messy and you can't really control this. So this is what is fun, really. So just bear with me, okay? I'm going to see if I can do this. I can't really do it on the camera. Oh, okay, go. Oh, I feel dizzy. Okay, so then just turn it upside down and get the rest of that excess off. Look at that. Love it. So we're going to do the same again. We're going to ink in, I can never say this one, pumpkin pie. And then we are going to add some colour with the daubers in the middle and around the outside. I think I might have to quickly run and fill up my bottle because it's empty. Will you please talk amongst yourselves for 30 seconds? Okay, thank you. I'm back. So again, add your block into your tray. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it down. So fun. And then you'll see again, it's all yucky. And then give it a blow here. Ready? I hope you can see it. I don't know if you can. This is lovely. I love to do this with the boys, obviously with the straws. And you can just add blobs as well if you wanted, straight out of the re-inker. But I just love it. It's just really messy and different. And if you do it enough, you feel dizzy, which is a great bonus. Whew, okay, so there we go. That's the card. I'm going to put that onto some foam pads. Just because I want that raised. Now this is, as I said, the watercolour paper, so it's a bit thicker. So I really do go to town on the dimensionals. And the more the better, really, for a watercolour paper. And such a big piece like this needs a few more dimensionals. You know, normally I would just put, say, 4 and 1 in the middle for Whisper White, but this is just a bit thicker. Whoa, where's my, here. So that goes on your card. If you wanted to, you could do some stamping around the edges before you stick this down, maybe in this Sahara sand ink, so you can see like a subtle pattern in the background. Now, while I've still got a little bit of ink on here, I'm going to spray it. Where's my spray gone? There's the lid. Where's my spray? Where's the spray, guys? Here it is. I'm going to spray it just over the floor. And again, as I said, I like to do my inserts, so just a quick messy one for the inside on the Whisper White. You want to grab a kitchen towel or something because this is slightly different paper. And the kitchen towel just picks up any dribbles on your mats. And you can see it's already soaked in by the time I've gone over there to pick it up. So that will just dry nicely, but I'm going to stick it straight into the card and then that's done. Like that. And now we need a greeting. Now I'm using just a piece of scrap. I was playing around with a bit of rainbow colours for a different card. I'm going to pinch a bit off the bottom here. And then you'll notice in the stamp set we have Harvest of Thanks. And I just want to pinch thanks. So I've mounted it on this large block. There is a nice little gap there. We can just stamp and pinch the ink off of the stamp here and off the ink pad. So if you've not done this before, you just want to get your eye level down here. So you want to see what you're doing, or you look directly over the top and you just use the edge of the ink pad and gradually, if you want to, go in a little bit. I can see it better if I do it this way. And then you're not inking up anything else, hopefully. Can you see? Always have a check though, because the slightest little thing is going to ruin it. I don't think I got anything. Okay, so next time you want a sentiment, just think about doing that. So hope this works. Ta-da! I'm pleased that worked. I could use my trimmer for this, but I'm not going to. Just going to make a little banner for myself. Now, linen thread, love my linen thread. I think it used to come in a card. It used to come in a card like this, and I don't know if they have popped it on a reel, on a thingy. So if they haven't, I think they might have changed the packaging, but if it's still like this, you just want to run your fingernail across it and just remove any of those kinks, because you can guarantee you'll get one of those kinks in your bow. Just wrap this round, say 3 times. Give yourself enough to tie a bow. So I always tie myself a little knot so then it doesn't move, rather than try and fiddle with a bow. And then you can do your bow. Ta-da! Okay, now the foam pads always have this edge, so make use of that edge. It's far too good to throw away. I'm going to put a lot of foam pads on the back, more than you would normally need. One, to hold the linen thread on, but secondly, because it's going onto the what's it called, watercolour paper. So again, I don't want it to come off anytime soon. Peel that off. And then we'll bring the card back in. I've left the linen thread bow tails quite long because then I can adjust them and trim them to where I think. Do you see what I'm doing there? Just hold both of them together rather than snipping one and then snipping the other like really too short. Just pull them both down together and then you'll find that they'll be perfectly even. So there we go. That's the second card, and this was my original. So you can see, perhaps I use a little bit more water on the second card, this one, than the first one. But I'd really like to see what you come up with because they're always so different, and also colours. Do lots of different colours. What did I do for the middle of here? Oh yeah, you can see again I used a little bit less water on this insert than this one. So have a play, please show me anything that you make. Yeah, I'd love to see that. At least I've inspired somebody to have a go. Okay, so I've got 15 minutes left, one more card. I'm going to just have a quick tidy up. And I'll get rid of this so it's easier for you to see. Okay, so here's the next tray. Little clue of what we're doing. I love this. I think this must be my favourite one. I'm not too sure. I'm not really allowed to have favourites, can I? It's like choosing between your children. And just, I can't have a favourite card. So, okay, so we have, first off, a soft suede background. And then two inserts, exactly the same size. I've cut another beautiful flower, leaf, sorry. And again, I'm going to take the middle out of there with this. And I've done this white for a reason. Come on, little thing. So this is cut out with, hi Viv. This is, oh, I might have to use a different one. I don't think I've cut this out properly. Come on. No, I'm going to have to cut another one. Bear with me. Okay, that's better. So the ones I did the other day were, my plates were going like really warped. So I've just finally opened a packet of fresh plates, which really does help. It saves a lot of hassle, doesn't it? So treat yourselves to some flat plates. Okay, I'm not going to fiddle with all those little dots, but it gives you the idea. You need one of these white pieces. I just realised I've been doing this without a light on. Turn the light on. Okay, so next we need some blends. I've chosen the Cherry Cobbler Light, the Pumpkin Pie Dark, but it doesn't matter whether you've got light or dark. It's more about the order than which you choose, to be honest. This is Granny Apple Green in dark and Soft Suede in dark. Okay, so give yourself some nice colours to choose to use, and just lay your die cut on your card and roughly have a look really and see where the top and the bottom of your leaf is, or your die cut, whatever you're doing. You can do this with lots of different things. All right, so you want to use the brush tip, and I'm going to start about there. There's not really a technique to this. This is just left and right, left and right, left and right. Same again. Go over the first colour. Now the Granny Apple Green. Give you a bit of a clue what it's going to be like. Don't worry too much about these messy edges. That's all part of it. I quite like the messy edges. And then just go back over and really trying to get these colours to merge a little bit better. They're not going to completely merge like these do, but whatever you can achieve is great. That'll do. So really we're using 4 colours and letting them touch. That's all we're doing. It's so easy. Imagine doing this with lots of different blues and like a snowflake on top in white, and then adding rhinestones or pearls on top of that snowflake. But this same idea really, just with a leaf. So because this leaf is so detailed, I don't really want to put my Tombow because it might smudge everywhere if I was to add too much. So I'm just bringing out some mini glue dots. Now these glue dots are still too big, even though they're mini, they're still too big for what we're doing. So I'm going to roll them up together. Okay, it's like a little bit of tacky glue, and carefully pop one in the middle of there. It doesn't look the best, but this, I promise you, will work and it will stick. So roll them. They feel like the little bits of glue you get, and you just want to, you know, get rid of them. But if you have more patience than I do, of course Tombow will work. So just want to make sure you've got the centre, the top, and say a couple pieces on the side over here so it does stick. And these glue dots really do make it stick well, so that's good too. Just doesn't look very nice when you're doing it, does it? It's very strange. The other thing you could do is die cut it with the sticky sheets that we have, but I'm not too sure how that will work because of all the different holes. So play about. You want to put your leaf over the top, stick it down. Now I pinched the Thinking of You sentiment out of the Sheltering Tree stamp set, which is already on a block just here, because I like Thinking of You. I like to send those cards. So I've pinched that one. This is block G. and that is just the right length really to go underneath. This gets glued down with our lovely Tombow. That bleeding that you see through this cardstock, that is okay. Don't worry about that. That is what you want. So I store my little Tombows in one of these glass tea light holders. I bought several for class actually, so I can put my glue and my scissors in there so they stand up nice and straight, and it makes that glue stay down at the bottom, so it's always there, so you're not, you know, shaking this glue like a mad woman, you know, trying to get it out. So if you have just a little tea light holder, a little tiny dinky pot, get those, because your glue will always stay ready. And always put the cap back on because it does dry relatively quickly. You don't want to bung it up. Okay, so next thing is that gorgeous stamp that we've used here, which I didn't clean yet. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Kim. Thanks so much. Dry it off and wipe it off. Yeah, so I mean, my colours are a little bit crazy for autumn, but as I said, if you do something for Christmas with some blues, you know, so they all merge together, and just put a die cut on top of it with a snowflake, it's just amazing. I'm going to do that. This is soft suede to match the card. Just in the bottom corner. Love it. Ta-da-da. And then just to finish, I would add some details on there, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. But you can see I've added some pearls just to make that background pop a little bit more. But yeah, there you go. That really is my 3 cards for today, and I've just got 4 minutes to show you them again if you've just popped in. I really appreciate you spending an hour of your time, or however long it's been, to watch me today. I know we have lots of different things to be doing, but I really appreciate you coming and watching. And if you've shared the video, thank you. I really appreciate that as well. Next week I'll be doing the draw for the prizes. These 2 prizes, I've got they'll go to 2 people. I might even give you both of these. Yeah, I'll give you one of these and one of those for 2 people. So yes, thank you. If you have any questions, please ask me. This is what I'm here for. All of the products I've tried to put on top of this video if you are interested at all. A cheeky little video on your lunch break, Viv. If you want to have a recap on this, then the live video will replay when I sign off, and also it will be available on my website probably this evening or tomorrow, and I'll have full proper photographs of these as well, so you can see them in more detail. So thank you. I will see you again next week. Thanks everyone. Bye.